Hi everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the last NECA San Diego Comic-Con 2024 exclusive that I have, the Dinosaurs Captain Impressive Earl Sinclair figure. So before we take a look at Earl, let's go ahead and take a look at all of his accessories. So first up, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with accessory holding hands. Up next, you get the Captain Impressive trachea plug, and this is just done on some very thin plastic. It almost feels like the kind of plastic that the windows on Ultimates are made out of, and it has this textured sticker on it, and that actually looks really nice. You can see where it says "We Say So" up in the corner, and then the ages 12 and older. The only bad thing about this is the accessory is so thin that even these tight gripping hands can't grip them. It just falls straight through. So it's very awesome that NECA gave that to us as an accessory, but he can't grip them in either hand because of how thin that accessory is. If the plastic was just a little bit thicker, he would have been able to hold it perfectly. Up next, he comes with an alternate right pointing hand and a left open hand. I wish we would have got a left pointing hand and a right open hand to match these, but we don't. Up next, he has ungloved hands, and you can actually take the top of the glove off so you can have his regular hands there, and I think that looks really good. I'm pretty sure these hands are just reused from the first Earl that we got. Up next, he comes with this alternate open right hand. Up next, he comes with pointing hands. And finally, you get an alternate head without the mask, and I'm pretty sure this is just the regular Earl head reused. So taking a look at these side by side, they actually are the same. The paint's just a little bit different. The paint on this Captain Impressive is a bit lighter. The green is a lighter shade, and the yellow is a lighter shade as well. On the first release, it is just a little bit darker. So this is the same head, it's just painted a little differently. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the masked head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think NECA did a very awesome job on that. I like how he has that mask around his face right there like it appears in the show. He has that smile that looks really good. The paint variation on the skin tone looks very nice. You get some brown at the top of the head and then the yellow around the mouth right here. He actually has a wired cape, and this one is integrated better than with the Super Alf because this material, it feels like it's paper thin, so that very thin wire actually does hold the shape. So whatever way you want to bend the cape, you can actually get it bent there. So I do like that. This plaid material was a great choice for this cape because the wire helps to hold the shape very well because of how thin it is. So that looks very nice. You get this soft overlay piece over top of the torso for the logo right there and the We Say So Corporation logo. That looks really good. I also think the outfit should have been more green. If I remember right, in the show it was kind of a bright greenish color, and this is more of a teal color. It doesn't look bad, but I feel like the color is a little off from what we saw in the show. Surprisingly, this Earl actually reuses the body mold of the first figure. You can actually see his shirt right here sticking out from underneath the material. So I thought that was crazy. I really thought this might have a new torso on it, but no, they literally just put the tailored soft goods suit over top of his sculpted shirt. So that does look a little funny because of the way it stands out right there. The tailored suit looks good for the most part. It's done in a very stretchy material. It feels pretty pliable. Of course, I wouldn't push it too far to its limits because you could rip it or make it run in the material because it's kind of thin, but I think it looks very good overall. I really like the pearlescent color that NECA went with for the gloves and the boots. That looks really good, but these boot tops keep shifting up and down, and you can see the cut right there for the joint. They are a separate piece. I would have preferred them to be a new piece that's all together, because the way these boots shift up here is annoying. Here is a side view of Captain Impressive. You can see that the yellow underwear is a separate piece over top of the teal bodysuit right here. The tail sticking out looks really nice. Just like with the body, this tail is reused from the previous figure, but the skin still has some really nice texturing to it, and the brown parts have a nice dark brown wash over top of it. Looks very nice. So now let's go over his articulation, which it's pretty hindered because of this suit. So he has a ball jointed head that can look up just a little bit. He can't really look down that far. He can move his head side to side very nicely. He has shoulders that don't really want to move out on mine at all. Yeah, they don't want to move out that far at all. The elbows barely want to move. So I did get this one done again, but it feels like it's going to snap off. You have slight side-to-side movement right there. Swivel at the wrist that can move side to side. And the up and down movement is really hindered as well. This is just a super stiff figure. Normally I would just heat it up and free the joints up, but I'm not sure how this is attached. I know the yellow trunks right here, it can actually come off. I guess you can actually take this off too, but I feel like it'd be too much trouble. Taking off the figure with how big he is, you might tear the material a little bit, and I definitely don't want to do that. He has a ball jointed diaphragm that moves side to side very slightly on this one. No up and down movement at all. He has hips that can only move out that far before you start stretching the material. He can barely kick forward. That's a terrible sounding joint. He can't kick back that far. He has single jointed knees that do bend in that far. He has a swivel ankle that can move up and down, or it should, I should say. Mine doesn't move up and down, but it does rock very nicely. And he has a ball jointed tail that has 4 points of articulation that can move up that far, down that far, side to side very nicely, and all the way around. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the first release of Earl, and finally here he is next to Baby. So overall, I do think this is a really cool figure, but it's definitely the weakest of all the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Having it in hand, I don't really think I'm going to pose it around that much. The fabric suit really limits what he can do. The articulation was kind of limited on him already, just because of the way he's sculpted, but having that suit over top of it, I don't want to move it too much and rip the material. I think this is one case where sculpted details over the fabric suit would have been really good. This is also the third Earl figure that we've got from this line. I think technically it's the second, but so far we have the regular Earl, this Super Earl, and then the We Say So Earl. And the only other figure in this line that's not Earl is Baby. So I would like to see some variation in this line. So far, 3 out of 4 of the figures have all been Earl. So while this is a cool figure, I don't necessarily think it was the best out of the Comic-Con exclusives. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.